Welcome back, heroes, for the last time tonight. I'm Levi Lalonde. This is Kyle Wright, and let's get into the final round of this Wednesday Webcam Weekly. The round that is going to determine who is going home with the freest of free, amazing Dim Mock merch. Kyle, tell the good people at home what we're closing tonight with.
We are closing off with an interesting semi-mirror match. It
Oh,
is Eraserhead 2 and Air Jiro, two very similar but slightly different characters. Um, and over here in Air Jiro land, it looks like mostly a standard built Jiro deck. I've been seeing instant explosive release in a lot of their builds recently, and I think it's an interesting pick. Uh, it just seems weird to me, but I mean,
so
really, some
So
people
for
know more
anyone
than I.
who's been, competitively minded lately, this has kind of been like the evolution of the Giro decks. They went through some pretty crazy processes, right? We used to have like things like unwavering slash, or if you want to go even further, right? We had, with like frog lashings and unwavering slashes, all kinds of
Yep.
crazy air Giro things going on in set one. Then a ban or two came in. They started pivoting some other ways. Then we saw like specialized sound waves, always be the mainstay, but it really then got enabled by something like pillar swing. That was kind of what Tim Keefe really tried to push, was the pillar swing Giro, because it was another form of like snap momentum. But more importantly, it was a low block that was also a charge and a weapon. So it kind of replaced unwavering slash in some ways. But now a lot of the Giro decks, ever since Philip C got second place at the HLC with his like, kind of more like crackpot instant explosive release turbo build, that's really the one that Giro players have super latched onto and refuse to let go. And the idea is you open zero gravity lift or you open electric jolt, then you play instant explosive release, you snap that momentum in after, and then you get to start playing your sound waves on basically turn one of the attack, right, without any actual momentum naturally. And then you see things like the wealthy aspirations on board, and you get to do even more. And it looks like these guys are waving at me, looking for a little debate. Are you guys debating if Eraserhead 2 can remove throw or not? Yes, he can, guys. He can. Because he removes an ability, and throw is a keyword ability. Now, if it were a trait, he doesn't get to remove those, right? Charge, punch, etc. But abilities, yeah, the blue keywords, all good. All right, sorry guys. Professor Levi had to step in a little bit, really putting me in my blazer I'm wearing today to work. We have Eraserhead 2 coming in to, looks like after we pay our 3 foundations on that very unfortunate 2 check, are we going to see Eraser come in, turn himself sideways, and take away the throw keyword? So for those of you not privy to what exchange just occurred there, Eraserhead 2, quite a bit different from his predecessor, who is usually the one to see a lot more competitive play. Eraserhead 2, instead of stopping your rival from interacting with their own character, stops your rival from interacting with their attacks in some ways, getting to commit himself to completely remove an ability from one of the attacks. And as you just saw, keyword abilities are a thing that we get to remove. We get to take throw and snap it right off of that zero gravity lift.
Yep. That is going to be a really strong aspect of this Eraserhead that I wasn't really thinking about into this Jiro, since you explained the Fury attack, right? Being able to keep them off of that damage that was guaranteed for from the Ochako throw for that Jiro is going to be huge.
So unfortunately, though, it looks like we came in with the mid block here. So it is still going to get its half damage in.
Yeah, that is interesting that we decided to respond with Eraserhead then.
Yeah, not exactly the fan, but it looks like we're not losing health there. I think Professor Levi might have to step in there one more time. We did half block that grav lift, right? Yeah. Just making sure with you guys. Professor Levi got a little confused there. Thanks, guys. So yeah, it looks like it might have caught a little webcam fever there, right? Sometimes we
Hmm.
forget what zones are what zones. Hopefully that we didn't have a high block we were sitting in hand that we could have used instead. That would have been very, very unfortunate. But at the very least, we didn't have things like the instant explosive release and whatnot to follow it up with, or maybe
Absolutely.
hopefully not, right? That we did and then didn't because we thought that we didn't deal damage there. Either way, we're going to be moving into Eraserhead's turn here, and throughout the checks and the block there, we're seeing some really interesting attacks going on here. Eraserhead 2 is a character that we don't see a lot of, although one thing that we have seen him do a little bit lately is do things on the all symbol with the punch package. A lot of people post set 4 really, really hot on this all punch package, but this is actually going to be the all symbol, yes, but airing on the weapon side instead.
Yeah. I've been a big fan of the weapon combo package that exists because of the Eraserhead starter deck, and they're honestly just playing all the good ones, right? I mean, Total Erasure Binding is a crazy strong card. Uh, Binding Cloth Precision is probably the best card out of those combo attacks, at least in my opinion, right? Whiplash also very strong, and then just playing some generically good combo cards from the past, right? Capture Net, Cloth Assault, both extremely powerful. And when you can get off the Binding Cloth Capture, this card is also very brutal. So it's a very difficult attack lineup to not to not find some really mean turns with, you know.
Yeah, I think the only like caveat about playing that lineup in Eraser 2 as opposed to a guy like Eraser 1 is you've got a lot of these really sick attacks like Binding Cloth Capture, like Binding Cloth Assault, that all get really turbocharged after you've played an action. The great thing
Yep.
about Eraser 1 is that he always guarantees you have that action. But to circumvent that in Eraser 2 here, we do have a couple really, really sick actions in the deck. We're seeing things like Sugar Rush Power Up and Flex Your Might, as well as an erase itself as well. So we're still gonna get a lot of really cool blue card interactions going on here to start turbocharging these really, really awesome all weapons. I'm surprised we're actually not seeing any needle stabs in this deck. I think that card,
Yeah.
the other Toga ultra rare, not her on symbol one, her off symbol ultra rare from set 4 League of Villains, I think that card was a huge buff to the all symbol weapon package, especially in a character like Eraserhead 2 that gets to draw a lot of cards, makes it really, really, really easy to fuel something like that.
Absolutely. Not having that card is interesting, but at the same time, like I truly do not disagree with any of the current attacks in their lineup, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. It's really a factor of there's a lot of real good all weapons out there nowadays. Holy cow,
Yep.
we just blocked with a challenge in the fakes. That's an absolute
Man,
Chad
okay.
move. That's a
Yep.
Chad move.
What a
I
bro.
understand now why we gave this thing -3 speed because our
Yeah,
mid block was a +4. However,
got to get that
it's
four mid out.
yeah.
We're
However, it's going to
gonna
be
try and kill him.
snapping into the momentum via this zero gravity lift, and we're going to respond with wealthy aspirations with 2 momentum now. There could be some seriously crazy sound wave strings following up here, especially
Oh
as we
no.
know that there's one sound wave in our discard pile. And I do think that we're going to see some aggressive soundwave plays here because if I'm not mistaken, Kyle, I think that arrogant disposition in there we released on our own attack just to destroy that because we wanted the 6 in our discard pile.
Yeah.
And there it
Yeah.
is.
That would
It
indicate
begins.
that they're going in hard.
The sound waves are about to start coming down. We really wanted that 6 check. But we're going to have Eraserhead 2 coming down here to respond. And he has said that Soundwaves no longer has the ability to on play draw a card. So all we get to do now is stack our next 2 checks. Now, if we have another Soundwaves in hand, that might be all we need, right? Because then we can go grab the third Soundwaves because we know there's one in the discard pile. It was our very unfortunate first check on our Gravelift last turn. So we grabbed Arrogant on top and then another Soundwaves on the bottom. So this is really interesting because now we actually can do a really funky line here where we go into another Soundwaves and then just respond to draw a card, draw the other Soundwaves, and then we get to stack 2 just nice checks on the very top.
Yep, that's gonna be That's gonna be super sick
Yep. So
for
we
this
did
for this Jiro
we
player.
did hard draw the 2 sound waves, which means that we just drew our third one now via this, and this is going to be pretty rough to block from here on out. Thankfully, we do have another specialist of sound, so that we do have some response speed reduction at response speed. That way, we can interact a little bit with our rivals' flash attacks. But if those
Yep.
flashes keep coming, our unexpected heroes are not going to bail us out. So this is going to be a very slow sound waves. Going to potentially eat another high block out of Eraserhead's hand, but if we're not careful with how we hold on to our high blocks, we could get hardcore punished by something like a home run comet.
Absolutely. A home run comet coming in after the next attack would be devastating right now.
Yeah, it's just really all up to the zones of what Eraserhead decided to hold on. Hard to imagine that we're not holding on to a 1.3. I'm sorry, that
Yep.
we're not holding on to a low block to stop a 1.3 if it comes our way. But we
Yep.
did just send in another +1 high block. So it's going to be a matter of what's left. So here's what's really crazy is that we didn't use our momentum, which means the third sound waves is coming in hand. Now we're going to momentum up on this one. This makes a lot of sense. You know,
Mm-hmm.
we don't really need 2 sound waves on the second one. It's much more important on the third one, simply because okay, the arrogance going on top and a home run is going on top, and then we're going to draw the home run comet.
Yep.
So this is very scary now.
Yeah, and then they're going to be able to on that home run comet. Oh no, did they spent the other momentum?
So we just use our other momentum on this
Oh,
sound waves,
I
right?
see.
Because we
I
had
see.
2 from Jolt and Wealthy, and then we've used both of those. So this
I
is now going to
see.
be a comet on a 7, and we can commit 1. Now,
Yep.
did we hold the third high block? Because with 2 unexpected heroes, we
Yeah.
can block this. The issue is if it's not a full block, we're going to be taking a lot of half damage if we
Yeah.
go for -3 speed and +3 damage.
It's going to hurt if they don't have a high block right now.
It's going to be absolutely massive. It's already at a yeah. Yeah, we're gonna go for a nice little powerful 5 on this bad boy. Coming for
Uh-huh.
13, we opt to take 13. I think we held that low block, Kyle.
Yep. Yep. It sounds like it. Man, and all this
Yeah.
Jiro has to do is just play one more attack, and it's lights out for this Eraserhead player.
I mean, we've got 6 ready foundations. We're passing anything else, but that's where the
Oh,
gas ends. That is where the gas ends. Thankfully for Eraserhead, gonna survive this turn by the absolute skin of our teeth. Very, very, very fortunate for us. At the same time, though, right? How much can we really put on luck here? Because like we sure did hard draw 2 sound waves.
absolutely.
But I mean, that's what happens when you get to build a 51 card deck, right? We see a
Hmm.
lot of cards in our game, so it really lends itself to these strategies.
So hopefully this Eraserhead player can find the gas and push some damage. But I mean, the big issue is that the while the Eraserhead has a little more control on face and just in their deck in general, um, which is nice. They are certainly not even close to as good at actually playing an aggressive turn as Jiro is, simply because they can only boost speed, right?
Oh,
Whereas Jiro gets to
absolutely,
boost damage.
absolutely. And the real issue now here, and this is kind of where we come to the caveats of Eraserhead 2, is that his aggression is very reliant on your rival blocking, right? So
Yep.
he kind of has that Sero 1 syndrome where if your rival is just okay with taking any amount of damage that isn't lethal, they're gonna face tank everything, and then your character actually has no text.
Man, I get the want to go in, but at the same time, I wouldn't have built that zero diff. I would have kept that.
It's a rough place to be, especially because now we know that we're building into deadlock against double basic training and a deck with double jab pummels in it.
Yeah, I mean, unless this Eraserhead player has something I'm not thinking about right now,
I mean, this
it's
thing's
not a
going to
good
get some
position.
stats, right? This is going to be a formidable attack here. But the issue is that our rival is going to be pretty content with just taking it if they really don't
Yeah.
want us to start drawing cards. Because like we were talking about, guys like Eraserhead 2 and Sarah 1 being really weak against characters that are okay with face taking anything that isn't lethal, right? Those are the
Yep.
words out of my mouth. Is there any character more known for just face taking until it's not lethal than Jiro?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, and yeah, unless this Jiro player just needs to get the extra card out of their hand, there's no reason to block until it's lethal right now.
100% no. And
And it's just so unlikely because of the nature of the attack lineup that exists in this deck that this Eraserhead is going to be able to find lethal.
yeah, it's simply just not. It's just not really going to happen. It's not in the cards by any means. Oh,
But
what?
apparently they think it is. All
This
right.
is an interesting train to go down. I mean, we're checking well, so it's fortunate for us so far. This is going to combo and remove itself out. We're going to put a couple extra speed on it. This is probably dealing damage. I doubt that we have a second low block in our hand, but I mean, it's certainly not impossible.
Uh-huh.
But I mean, with the release on the board, the requesting assistance, if we really want to, like we can block this. But once again, there's not really any reason to block it. Now, like the real thing that sucks right now, going back into Jiro's turn, is that if Jiro draws a 0 gravity lift, we have to use Eraserhead against it. That is we have to remove throw, or else we will just die.
Actually legally required to do that.
Oh,
interesting.
We're using Erase Enhance to seal the release?
Is it possible that he's maybe going for like a Sugar Rush power-up play? Is that what's going to happen here?
I don't know. The issue is that we just don't really have any like damage pump. I mean, we have unexpected heroes, right?
Yeah.
But that's not going to be a thing until our rival doesn't have cards in hand.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm trying to do the math. So like I would imagine this Jiro's going to take this, right?
Yes. Now okay, hang on. Let's do some math.
Take 5 and go to 22 if they were to play Binding Cloth Capture and
yes.
and use that last card
So this is the math here, right? If we follow this up with a Binding Cloth Capture and an unexpected hero, it's not quite 27. But if we have something after that, there's a world where Jiro doesn't get to block anymore after this one because the Cloth Capture is going to discard our last card.
Yep.
I just don't know if we can count. I don't know if we can count that high past this, but I mean, we're going for it. So we have to be like fully committed. So
Yeah.
we're identifying that the Binding Cloth Capture play could decimate us. We're going to go for the half block here and go to 23. Now I don't think that we can find that much.
Yeah,
I don't think any
there's
two
just no
attacks.
way. There's not enough draw in this player's deck right now.
So this is that's the end of it right here. We got the Cloth Assault on a 7 here, but the 3 check is really gonna put us down from here on out.
Yeah.
I think our best case scenario world there was any 5 damage move into a Cloth Precision, which is still only like 13, 14 damage, depending on how we checked. 17 if we get to 17, 18 if we get to keep up like the unexpected hero, but there's just not anything else in the deck that would have gotten that big. Now if we had some needle stabs, we'd be cooking.
It's true. It's very true. I don't know. If I was going to go in that turn, I probably would have opened with that Binding Cloth Whiplash, just because that seemed like the least impactful card in their hand based off of what they had. But
and just sacrifice with that turn anyway. and just sacrifice getting the combo off.
Yeah, because that was probably the least impactful combo ability out of all the cards in that hand. But at the same time, I don't think I would have gone in with that turn.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't have gone in on that turn. I probably would have had to have been more okay with just like building 2 and passing, which also feels terrible, especially because like that still puts you into deadlock.
Absolutely, but sometimes that's what you got to do.
Oh, we're going for the max greed play here.
Yeah, we're going full greed. This Jiro wants to end the game right now.
Full greed. We've got foundations to spare, so we're going to slam down the 4th sound waves, and with 2 momentum, we are about to just return to playing the 0 interaction game. Now,
Yeah,
what's
and I
really
have
crazy
to.
is here is
Yep.
as turn player, Jiro's going to get first response, which means that Season gets to come down and flip one of the specialists before they can respond. Oh, we're not doing
Oh
it.
yeah, super
We're just
strong.
drawing a card.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay, so we're playing around. We're playing around Eraserhead right now because
I
we
see.
first responded to draw a card. So that says that that's the more important response to me, which makes sense because if we use our first response to do the momentum, then Eraserhead can mess that up, right?
That is true. That is very
We
true.
what we might be doing is just trying to bait Eraserhead here into responding somewhere on this so that we can just send in a grav lift for game.
Yeah, yeah, that's probably what they're trying to do.
But at the same time, you just play your sound waves normally and like go stack the grav lift. Then he has to respond, except he doesn't anymore because we already responded to draw a card.
Yep.
Interesting. This is a really interesting way to go about this turn. The spooky block. I cannot believe we didn't build that spooky.
Yeah, same here. That spooky
That
could have been huge.
that is the thing that lets us survive an extra throw, right? Because we can zero it out.
Yep. Mm,
What?
what?
So
Did they?
so we also didn't use sound waves on this. We didn't stack. What?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Oh, they were just digging for the extra attack. Oh, that's so unfortunate for that Jiro player.
I mm,
I don't know if I would have gone for it against this specific matchup.
so like what is the alternate way that we play that sound waves? Because if we use the momentum and stack any attack on top, then Eraser will respond and say that we don't get to draw a card, right? And
Yeah.
then we're in the same position. So
Yeah,
I
if
guess we just
Soundwaves was the only attack, if Soundwaves is the only attack that was in this Jiro's hand, which I would assume that is the case, I just
it
wouldn't
most
have gone
definitely
in.
is.
Yeah, I just wouldn't have gone in. I would have built 2 past.
This is this is wild. Yeah, this is wild. I was like, I can see how why he played that sound waves like that, because we get screwed out of our attack if Eraserhead commits to stop the draw after we stack. So we just went for the draw first and tried to draw an attack. I get that. But also there could have been an element of like trying to bluff Eraser out there, right? Well, no, I guess there's not really an element to bluff because if we like stack like if we were trying to like bait the response out, right? Or at least try to bluff that we were going to bait the response out, there's a world where Eraser just lets it at all happen because we're that scared of a throw. But then if we let it happen, we could just stack a throw. So we could actually sniff out that bluff if these guys like actually went through all those thought processes to like double mind game each other.
Yeah. Yep. It's wild. This is actually a super interesting matchup to play around. You wouldn't think it would be because of how similar these characters are, but it Eraserhead very much changes up the game plan of this Jiro player.
Yeah, normally the living, breathing, walking meme is play sound waves. Your one sound waves is 4 sound waves, right?
Yep.
So the question is, after that second chance from the grace of God itself, can we actually close things out this turn as Eraser?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, we've got a very healthy stage. This is
Yep.
going to draw us some new cards. The more our rival blocks us, the more we're going to get to draw cards. Jiro is at 18, so still a lot of face tanking that we can do before we actually have to start letting our rival draw cards. But that's also face tanking against this deck is scary because we've seen these binding cloth captures, and we know that hand disruption can come in aggressive game.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a weird spot for this Jiro to be in. I was very much expecting the game to be over next turn or last turn.
Yeah, 100%. So it's just a matter of if we can find the aggression coming in from this very standard string so far. But Jiro's got so much blocking power. It's really hard to think about dying to Eraserhead 2 on this turn. We've got one specialist. The other one is sealed. Requesting has readied our other ones. So we've got just so much speed reduction that we can present here. And I think that it might be a matter of Eraserhead running out of either attacks or foundations to aggressively commit. Or so we are webcam gamers. So the top two is going to be revealed. Oh, sorry. I see you have your one card in your deck. Yeah, you guys are good. Professor Levi getting overzealous here. Very, very, very funny situation at Jiro with one card left in deck.
Well, come on, Professor.
So
what happened?
So everyone here now knows that we're working with a 5 on the top of our deck. That's a little bit of an interesting set of knowledge here because we've got a lot of different avenues that we can pursue now here. This is now an attack that Jiro like actually really wants to full block because we want them to draw that foundation, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think Jiro still has a couple of blocks left. We have a latent skill as well in tandem with Jiro. So like we're able to sculpt our hand defensively even more. Yeah, we want to full block this all day. We certainly want you to draw that foundation because Eraserhead 2 is not optional. So the main question is how many attacks were left in our very, very minuscule deck? Because it wasn't a very, very large pile of cards to start with there. And then we also opted for our draw 2. So hopefully we know that there were some attacks sitting left in there. You know, we've already gone through our entire deck once. We haven't seen, there's a lot of things we haven't seen come down from Eraserhead's end, right? We haven't seen things like capture nets come down. We haven't seen total erasure bindings come down, at least not aggressively.
Nope.
There's definitely a lot of scary all weapons that could be lying in the works here. A binding cloth precision anywhere in this chain could also be huge.
Yeah, I would imagine a binding cloth is more than likely going to come down unless they're going to go for a build.
I'll need you to be more specific, Kyle. A binding cloth means like 5 attacks in this deck.
You're right. I forgot. Binding cloth precision.
Yep. And it looks like, going for a very, very, very wide capture net play here. Beautifully checking the 5 once more, only having to commit a couple for this. Bringing our mediator down could also be huge if we need to aggressively draw some cards, and if we can go ahead and find ourselves an action to play. Going for the Specialist of Sound here with our 1 card in hand says this might be the last one we block. I'm not sure how I feel about that because a total erasure could come in with 2 momentum and powerful 3 for a whole lot of damage.
Yep. Not to mention an extra 3 damage from.
Maybe we don't have the high block.
It is possible.
That would mean we went into the turn holding a low, a mid, and then either another low or another mid. I mean, if you don't have the high, this definitely makes sense. We do indeed have the low. It says, hey, look, if 18 happens after, then by all means, it's over to you. A total erasure in tandem with the unexpected hero would be what, 11, 14 damage? So total erasure and any other move kills?
Yeah.
This is very scary. I just heard Eraserhead 2 say you're at 18. There's the total erasure.
Check a 5.
And I think with that check in, I don't think we ever needed the checks to be optimal because even if we had to commit 2 more here, that would leave us with 5 things. So another 4 diff could totally get it done. This is going to be 11 damage, 14 if we want to use the unexpected hero. Jiro has no way to draw cards. But actually, we will not Sugar Rush power up because our discard pile has abandoned us.
That's for a moment I thought, did this player just big brain and get to exactly 10 by doing the powerful 2?
Oh, I sure hope that Sugar Rush was not real. I mean, this is still 14, so any other move kills.
Yep.
Any other move kills.
It's true. It's just unfortunate that they couldn't do that. Hopefully they do have the extra move.
Yeah, this is pretty rough. Now, there is a line here where... Okay, never mind. We have a super big damage move anyway, and it is completely fine. It
There
is
it is. We found the
completely
game.
fine. We never had a reason to hesitate. We never had a reason to hesitate there. I was gonna say if they were really desperate to dig, there was a world there where we could have played Sugar Rush for the bottom enhance, use it to remove. Even if we don't have anything that we can flip, we still played an action. Then we could have used our mediator to draw.
Yep.
That would have been a really, really sick line, but we did not need it. We found all of the gas that we needed. There's a world there where I think that maybe Jiro should have face tanked a little more early on and not let our rival draw on so many cards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the allowing the Eraserhead to draw was probably pivotal, pivotal to them finding the attacks they need.
Yeah, I mean, we executed 3 complete blocks. We let our rival dig 3 more cards deep. I mean, they were already going to see a lot of cards, but if all of those blocks had come in a little later in the string, it's possible that we might not have even found our way that late into the string. Eraserhead is he's an iffy character to fight when you enter that mid game and you're like, how much health am I really willing to throw around, right? Even as Jiro.
Absolutely, absolutely. The more I watch this E-Head deck play, the more interesting the character kind of seems to me, which is cool. Cool. I love being shown characters in different lights than I originally think about them.
Yeah, the all weapons package is such a fun way to play the game. When your rival is not interacting with your combos somehow, there's just so many fun things to do with these cards. And Eraserhead's just he's a fun character in like the thought intensity sense, right?
Yep.
You get that one ability remove per turn. It's your job every turn to find the perfect one to use it on. Got to make that a very rational decision.
Mm-hmm.
So a pretty healthy little build by Jiro there with nice aggressive pieces too, right?
Nice.
The Destin's going to let us dig pretty deep. Ooh, the aggressive build there on a 4. Ooh,
Yeah, did not even respond
Ooh.
with the specialist of sound to see if he was going to pass it.
Yeah, unfortunate there as well to not get that 5th one off, and we had to commit our character. If we've got our belly open a little bit here as Eraserhead too.
Yeah,
If
you forget you are facing Jiro. Jiro could just pound you.
Oh my
Although
goodness.
this Jiro is checking like crap right now.
Yeah, once again opening our turn with the 2 check.
Oh,
the 2 check. No way.
You live by the 2 and you die by the 2. It's
No
just
way.
part of how the game
We're gonna need one more commit on that. We will not respond for 2 damage. We're gonna need one more commit on that to go ahead and pass that one. Wow. When we talked about the grace of God coming in and saving Eraserhead last game, it looks like our prayers have not left us wanting this game as well, because holy cow, we're gonna get to do some awesome things here. Now, the one saving grace for Jiro is that we did get to flip that spooky, meaning that this Gravelift is not going to get 0 damaged out anymore.
Absolutely. That is being able to flip that spooky is huge, because I think it just it takes that Eraserhead player down to 1 copy left. So unless the Eraserhead player can find a way to get rid of the spooky flipped in their stage to sort of reset it on their next deck flip, this Eraserhead player might not ever see another spooky.
Yeah, and that's a big thing, right? Spooky is a extremely massive card in a matchup like this. When you're wanting to, there's something you want to zero out every single turn, right? There's a Graveler, there's a Jolt. You want those dealing no damage, because then it means that Jiro gets no momentum. No momentum means no sound waves. And when you're zeroing them out, it also stops attacks from triggering the instant explosive release, which once again means no momentum and no sound waves. Spooky is a massive card in matchups like these, so losing it, it's going to feel really rough. But once again, the game state extremely equalized out by those rolling 2 checks.
Yep, those 2 checks hurt so much for that Jiro player.
Yep. Now we're coming into Eraserhead's turn here. We're putting some aggro on the table, slam opening our 5 diff here, And
Mm-hmm.
not a single committed foundation that we have to worry about. It's going to leave the door very wide open for us to aggress even further. So if we do have the full block here, it's going to feel a little scary to execute.
Yep. Yep. A little bit.
Because there's a world where, like, I mean, if Eraser just rolls fives, could put some serious damage. But we have the full block, so I feel like you do want to go for it just because you have that full block. They're going to get to draw the card, and
Absolutely.
then, I mean, what are you going to get to block from here on out anyway, right? This is like
Yeah.
the scariest low one. If anything, the issue with this is just blocking so early on, and giving Eraser those cards early on.
Yeah, it's not exactly where you want to be. Although if this eraser just checks like garbage, it works out, you know?
I mean, we're checking okay. We're checking evenly so far, right? 1-5 and 1-3. We
Yeah,
are
but on such a low foundation count, I mean, it might as well be bad, you know?
right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, of course. But again, we didn't tell Eraser to aggress. That's this hard on on 4 foundations.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
we're because we checked fortunately on that first one, we are able to continue a little bit here, which is definitely what we want to do. If we don't deal any damage this turn, it'll feel very, very sad.
Agreed.
And if we can get a nice build out from here, I'll feel really, really, really good about where we are. We really want to put some more defensive pieces, but we're going to continue to aggress
Yeah.
here and continue to be rewarded by our deck with another 5 on top. And this Binding Cloth Precision is going to be a real, real nice one. We're going to get to do our combo up,
Yeah,
stack our next check a little bit, or at least get a bad one right off the top. And then this is just going to be another free 5 damage going down home.
yeah, that poke
Oh,
is huge. Oh,
oh.
geez. Okay. Here it comes.
Wow. Okay. And by that I meant it's going to be a nice 9 damage going down home.
Let's go. This Eraserhead player is just going for the throat.
Going for the throat. I could not. Ooh, but the 3 check there does not feel fantastic.
Oh, that sucks.
But we're going to be able to get another bad one off the top if it is there with our combo enhance. So hopefully we can build some nice foundations from here, because with the board that Jiro has, even with just 1 momentum, that can be more than enough to find 24. I do like how aggressive this attack is right here. Putting 9 damage on board is going to really put Jiro on the back foot. But man, it's going to be a little spooky moving into Jiro's turn with so few foundations, unless we have like a bunch of zeros we can safely build out from here.
Yeah, absolutely. The other like issue is going in this hard against the Jiro. It kind of can create a mind game with the Jiro, and depending on how you want this Jiro to feel, this could have been the wrong play, because the Jiro might see like just enough attacks where they could go in, but not enough that they want to go in, right? And it might force them to go in because they're afraid of taking an end game from the Eraserhead on the next turn.
Oh, seizing so huge here. And against the 3 off the top of our deck. Don't be
Yep.
another one. Oh
Yep.
my
Seizing is gonna
God.
hurt.
No. No way. No way.
Yep.
This is crazy. Okay, yeah, we're going for the kill this turn. We've committed our specialist over our latent skill. We're full sending.
Absolutely.
Ooh.
Yeah. This Jiro saw the gas.
So we didn't first respond on as seizing. So we do get the opportunity to use specialist this turn if we so desire.
Mm-hmm.
Doing some thinking. Okay, we opt not to it. I think that's correct. I don't think this is the one that you block.
Yep. Most certainly.
Oh man, but we're putting the basic trainings all on here. We're really trying to bait out. I think we're really trying to bait out the specialist, maybe. I mean, I guess if we take it out, right?
Down.
Yeah, and then we flip the unexpected hero. It's kind of the same thing, except we kind of force them to be committed to blocking this one, which maybe we're okay with.
Yep. I mean, it's certainly not a bad play at all.
So the reason
getting rid
actually,
of the
Kyle,
rest of the speed haze.
the reason actually that I disagree with this play is because we grav lift this jolt, and then if we'd have flipped the specialist, our first enhance on our next move can be flipping jolt to commit the unexpected hero. Ooh, do we? Okay,
Yeah.
we Eraser responded. So we got 2 5s on top. So there's going to be some blocking here. I have to imagine we Eraser responded to stop the if it's completely blocked part.
For a second, I was like, "Stop cheating and looking at it at the thing," but I forget. I forget. This is webcam. This is
Yep, this
webcam.
is
Jiro's
Jiro,
text is
and
not as good.
this is going to be big here. Getting to pick up a double jab off the tippity top is going to be massive.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to go for the block here. This might be the only block that we get to execute this turn, even with another 5 on top of the deck. Things just might be getting too fast. So this
Yep.
jolt is going to. Yes.
What you doing, buddy?
Is the
I
is the
thought they zero
jolt
grab lifted.
is the jolt not going to momentum, friend?
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah,
Oh,
we did grab lift on that one, so the jolt's going to go. Beautiful. So we're a little whoopsie in now because this double jab
Yep.
is not gonna be comboing up, unfortunately for our Jiro friend here. However,
That is
we are gonna
the.
be able to completely commit out Eraserhead with this jolt.
It's true. It could end up that it didn't matter, but if it did matter, that was the most unfortunate misplay.
Yeah. Now what I want to see here is I want to see him nullify this latent skill. Rip.
Yep, there it is.
I wanted the nullify. I wanted the nullify to come out, Kyle.
Man, canceling latent skill is the funniest thing on the planet.
It is the greatest guilty pleasure ever. So this is like super blockable. And we know that we have a, well, I guess it depends on our mod, right? Because we know that we have a 5 on top. So if we have
Yeah.
a +1, we can stop this.
Yeah. Hopefully.
I don't know if you particularly care, although from here on out, it's going to be tough to block things. I mean, I guess if he's got a really good high block, we can stop a sound waves.
Exactly.
We just have another jolt instead.
Okay.
Cool. The jolt's going to come in and be pretty large. Once again, if we have a +1, it's going to be blockable, but we've probably sussed out there's no +1 in Eraser's hand now.
Yeah, which is very unfortunate.
Yeah.
So
I think we're just in the realm of counting right now.
mm-hmm.
Taking this to the face going to bring us down to 12. I mean, literally home run just does it, right? Powerful 4. We got 2 momentum.
Home run closes this game out.
Yeah, we're 100% dead to a powerful 4 right here, packing a couple momentum. Oh, no way.
Oh no.
Oh, or not. Or not.
Okay.
Okay, or yes,
Yeah,
we will.
right.
There it is. Oh, no, there's our home run.
Okay.
And also there's our home run.
All right.
So
okay, we were just debating greeting out or not. That was what it was. All right. Yeah, that's
And
good.
he says, "Yep, you got me there, buddy." That's going to be most certainly calculates to a most certainly lethal number, meaning we're going to get delivered to a game 3 here. Yeah, I really liked to see a lot of Eraser's aggression on that last turn. We got some fantastic chunks of damage in, but it did end up coming back to bite us in the butt, even through very good checks, right? I think we only checked 1-3 on that aggressive turn.
Yep,
Yeah.
that was a little unfortunate. We did greed out pretty hard, and we got bit for it. You know.
Yeah, these guys are going to be sitting now on their 17 and a half minutes on the clock to try and find a lethal on each other. Definitely not an intimidating number for Jiro, but might be a little bit intimidating for Eraser. These guys certainly don't want to end up in a tie. We are trying to secure that top cut spot no matter what, right? We're here to get our Dim Mak apparel tonight, boys.
Yep. Yeah. The fortunate part for the Eraserhead player is that they are indeed going to get to go first. So, Jiro's Jiro's first aggro turn is going to be a lot easier for this Eraserhead player to defend through because they're going to have 2 builds under their belt.
Yep. I mean, it looks like, are we debating that mulligan? Are we not sure? Are we truly not sure if we're committed to it? Oh, well, we've looked at it, so we're definitely committed to it now.
We're committed. That was the choice. I don't know what we're doing here.
And there it goes. There it goes. Some hesitation, maybe. Guys, this is not the time to be hesitating. We're moving into
Yep.
game 3 with some sick shirts and promos on the line.
Yeah,
I want to
this is the time to see orange play orange, you know?
Oh yeah, I want to see full send. I want to see full send no matter what.
Mhm.
Obviously, as you said, Kyle, being on the play here is gonna be massive for a racer. We're gonna get 2 turns to put really nice defensive pieces on our board before we have to worry about staving off the insane aggro from Jiro. And we've got 3 foundations here that we know that we cannot fail. Gonna just slam them all successively on the table. Now let's see what Jiro's gonna respond with. Dropping our Grav Lift. Yeah, that card not doing a whole lot in this matchup.
Mhm.
Oh my goodness. If he checked a second 2 after that, I would have screamed. I would have screamed, "Oh my god.
Oh my
No. No.
god!
No way.
Oh,
No way.
this unfortunate luck for this Jiro player.
This is
Oh no.
insane. This is insane.
Yeah,
This is insane. Our sound waves
that
only
hurts.
exist in our checks. This is actually crazy. Are we about to get swifty with it? What? Binding Cloth Precision is coming. No, Capture Net's coming. Ooh. But we're going to be a little punished for our
Ooh.
greed here. I mean, we did
Yeah,
say see orange, play orange, Kyle. You did instruct him. What do you have to say for yourself? Look at the
we
path you've set this
did
man on.
indeed.
So this is a really interesting card here, right? We've got the Flex Your Might on board. Now, we were talking a lot, right? We were talking a ton about playing actions in tandem with a lot of our attacks on the all symbol weapon package. Flex Your Might is a card that gets to interact very coolly with them because it's going to trigger things, right? Like your
Yep,
Binding Cloth Capture and your Binding Cloth Assault. It's going to actually get those full benefits off. Not to mention, if we go to play things like Binding Cloth Precision, it's going to be an extra card counting for that cards and card pool, whether we're looking to make the Precision the 3rd or the 5th.
absolutely, absolutely. This card is so cool in this Eraserhead deck, I think.
Yeah. However, I mean, with the only 2 ready foundations, obviously our Capture Net has replenished our ready resources a little bit. So we're not
Yep.
in as bad of a spot.
Yeah,
What makes
it
us a little
certainly could be
sad,
worse.
though, yeah, what makes us a little sad, though, is that, well, for one, our rival fully committed out to block the attack, meaning our Flex Your Might's not going to find any value. Um,
Yep,
but on the other hand, it was also a half block. So we did get damage in, but we didn't get to draw. So a lot of give and take occurring from that block there. But it does mean that we're pretty much going to get this full send everything from home. Eraserhead will be pumping speed nonstop. We are completely committed out. Any damage we put on the board right now is guaranteed damage.
absolutely. Plus, also like as much as Jiro can certainly find lethal off of 3 foundations, it's very unlikely. So I would feel pretty safe for the most part as this Eraserhead player.
At the same time, though, I don't know, man. 3 foundations is not a hefty number, but I've seen Jiros do worse things on less.
Oh yeah. Oh no. I agree. Jiro certainly can, but it is still somewhat unlikely.
The issue here, right, is we need some opening with a home
Okay.
run comment is this is spooky. If we have some sound waves to follow this up with, we can use home
Uh-huh.
run and wealthy to get 2 momentum, and we know that there's sound waves in our discard pile.
That may be what they're going. I don't see what they would be playing this card right now for if that is not what they're doing.
I mean, if we do, right, it's the last sound waves in our deck, right? We checked 3 of them, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Holy cow.
But if they do it, they're gonna get the other ones, right? So
Exactly. We're gonna have 2 momentum. Ooh, and we get to put a 3 on top of our rival's deck. Although
uh-huh.
Chivalrous Competitor does say draw that and then have a 5 on top.
It does indeed. It does indeed.
And so we're gonna try and play around that. We're gonna leave the 5 on top because the alternative is give you an attack and or a 1 high block, and then you still have the 5 on top.
Yep.
Chivalrous putting in the work on the mind games here. Now, what I was going to say before this home run came down. Oh yeah, here it is. Oh, we're about to sound waves train it up. Now, what
Yeah.
I was afraid of right at the beginning of this turn was the optimal line here by the looks of it. Whereas when it comes to the whole, you know, the whole how Jiro puts so much damage on minimal foundations. If we open with a grav lift or a jolt and then have a bunch of instant explosive releases, there could be a ton of damage and a ton of momentum and a ton of card pull clearing on board. But Eraserhead plays around that by stopping the jolt or grav lift from that guaranteed damage. This is our alternative line for all of that snap momentum, opening with a home run comet.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. If we have one sound waves, we have them all now.
Yep.
Kyle, I think we might be about to witness some very heinous things.
Yeah. It is a high possibility that there are some war crimes about to be committed.
I cannot contest you. We also know what our next check is, right? So we left a 3 on top purposefully, meaning we've probably put a good one on the bottom for this next one, unless we had 2 3s on top and them's the breaks, right? Although a sound wave still only asks us to commit our last foundation and not our character.
Yep, it most certainly does.
And if we're checking 6s from there on out, it still leaves a line of 3 sound waves all online. Oh my god.
Oh no.
Oh, so we did have another 3 on top. Now this is still fine, right? Because our next sound waves will always stack a 6. And when we go sound waves on our next one, it's only on a 5. And the third sound wave is also only on a 6. Now the issue is
it definitely is going to put out a lethal attack. It's just like there's that possibility now that assumed home run comet is going to
can you just make it visible
blocked.
what cards you're putting on top, because we can't see from our perspective. Thank you, man. I mean, he's saying it out loud to his opponent, but also honesty is the best policy, right? And I don't want you viewers at home not to be able to see what's going on type, so we can witness what this crazy string is going to hold. Now, if and he immediately doesn't show it. I love it. So okay, so we know that if we put sound waves on top, we're going to get screwed by Eraserhead, right?
Yep.
So we're opting to just put 2 really good checks on top. If he has another home run comet, I think we just win with that.
Yeah.
I think if he just goes anything into home, well, actually, no. If he goes anything into home run, it will be unpassable. But a home run here, is that just lethal? It's definitely 12. It's going to be a 7 speed. Okay, we have to respond on this one and get rid of powerful.
Yeah, you have to drop the powerful.
Yep. And then with no ready cards, there is nothing. I don't think there's anything we could follow this up with. Yep, so we're going to remove powerful. Nope. This is just going to deal 7. And then because we know that all of our other sound waves are in the discard pile, there's nowhere where we can find that last 5.
Yep. The sound waves gas is out, which is very unfortunate for this Jiro player.
Yeah, Eraserhead proving so pivotal in this matchup.
Mm-hmm.
Man, this is crazy. This is a crazy back and forth. Now, the issue is, can Eraser come back on the kill turn with only 4 foundations? I don't know. It's going to be a tough one. I mean, all the way down to 5 health. We pretty much have to find it. And Jiro should be at, let's see, we half blocked the capture net, so we took 2, and then we took the binding cloth, which should have been 5. So Jiro should be at 20, I believe.
Yeah, something like that. It's very hard to see. Oh, I think we
he's
just got a tiny glimpse of it. I'm pretty sure it's 20.
We did. We were playing around with I don't think playing around with the lights. I think he was changing what was open on his computer screen, so it kind of changed the lighting for a second, which did take a peek. We do have Jiro at a solid 20 health here, but can we find it? We're in the think tank right now. We're making some piles. We're putting the hand on the head. We are. How
are we going to kill this man?
That is the question right now. On the other hand of things, there's no sound waves left.
Yeah.
There will never be a specialized sound waves played until Jiro cycles. And with 7 minutes on the clock, I don't think that we're getting to that world.
Yeah, probably not. Yeah.
And I mean, we have Eraserhead to protect us from grav lifts that get to like 9 damage, right? There's a world where Jiro could just be like, foundation, whatever, grav lifts, right? Like there's a world where like those are lines we could take to win. But with Eraserhead, we're going to be able to really play around those super duper well. We might see Eraser either finish the game this turn or possibly wall up here.
Yep. It is oh
Ooh.
no. Yep. They're going
So
for game.
okay,
I
okay.
think they're
So
going
so
for
so
game.
here's what this says, right? We've already used cloth capture to seal the specialist of sound. So
Yep.
there's actually no point in sealing anything here, which means we're just trying to turn on our action cards, meaning we
Yep.
might see another cloth capture follow this up, or a binding cloth assault coming in with some big speed.
Yep. It would be brutal.
What we really need right now is a binding cloth whiplash. We've got to start taking some progressive out of the equation if
Mhm.
if we're going to find the full 20 this turn. Another cloth capture is great though, only
Yep.
on a 4 because we have sure played our action card. This
Yep.
is going to rip our only card out of the hand, question mark?
He flipped to have both players draw one. So I believe the Jiro has 2.
Oh.
Jiro player still forgetting that he has to show both of the cards to both players.
Oh no, it's just Jiro. Jiro is exempt to the rule. The reveal rule is only for the rival's card because there's no way for the
Oh,
rival to
okay.
reliably show me theirs, right?
I didn't know that. Well, thank you, Professor Levi.
Bro, Professor Levi putting in equal amounts of work tonight. Equal amounts of work tonight. What we really need is Judge Nilmerg. I need Judge Nilmerg in here.
Yep.
So we're gonna take another 5 on the chin. If we can get that last card out of hand somehow, our unexpected hero could clean it up. Oh my god, we have 6 attacks in our hand?
Yep.
What? What?
Yep, that's exactly what that said. I have 6. Rah rah rah.
Now, what's more interesting is that if we have 6, this is the one we're opting to play. Do we just have all capture nets in the hand? What is going on, Kyle?
I don't know.
I'm losing my mind a little bit right now.
It's possible that they're trying to do exactly what this did. Bait the block out with the capture net, so that they have the extra progressive for their next real attack.
Yeah, and then we didn't eraser because we don't want to draw the 5 on top, but in exchange for that, our rival got to block.
Yep.
I think we're trying to math now.
What is this Jiro at right now?
So that's a good question. I don't want to interrupt them though. They're in a real intense position right now. We were at 20 at the start, and then we took 5, right?
Oh, it is less than 10.
It is less than 10, right? Because we took 10 from the cloth captures, and then the capture net should have dealt us 2. So I think we should be at 8. Yeah. Either way, though, evidently the number we're at is not lethal. And so we're going to pass turn now with just 1 card in hand, but only 3 foundations. Can Jiro, the queen of blowing you up on only a few foundations, can she find the win this turn?
Oh, I believe, especially with that. I believe.
Yes, we will, because okay, so this is crazy. Eraser has to remove EX on this jolt.
Yep. Eraser does indeed have to remove EX on this jolt, or it is game.
This is so
legally
funny.
Required to do that.
Legally required. The trademark Kyle Wright phrase.
Yep.
EX is getting removed from this bad boy right here. Because of Jiro, this jolt is going to be the most lethal thing in the world. And we have to make sure it does not get 8 speed. However, at what, 5 speed now, it's still definitely not, it's not slow by any means.
Yeah, I mean, 5 speed 7. This is probably going to be the only attack that this eraser head gets to block. Yeah. More than likely.
Yeah, I mean, you could just show us one more attack, right? And we know that's game.
At this point, I would say show me the attack, and then I would scoop it up more than likely.
Yeah, I mean, there's a world where, like, I mean, these these guys do still want to go things by the book here because time could
Yeah.
get really important right here. And you're just going to show me another jolt, and that is going to be
Yep.
all she wrote. You've got no cards in hand. Even if you did, here's a little bit of 10 speed on this bad boy, and it's going to, just in the nick of time, with 1 minute left on the clock, wrap up this round for these two players right here. What what an insane back and forth. Kyle,
Yep.
do you know how many sound waves we checked in that whole round?
Man, 7, I want to say
I
7 or
think you're
8.
right. I think you're right. I'm like pulling hair right now. What a nail biter
Yeah.
that
I know
round
between the
was.
last 2 games there were 7 checked. I don't remember how many were checked in the first game.
We take at least one, right? Because we opened our grav lift and smacked the two.
So at least 8. There were at least 8 sound waves checked, but the Jiro
Holy cow.
still takes it.
Very crazy that with almost as many sound waves checked as there were resolved, pretty sure we checked more than there were resolved, but don't quote me on that. Jiro still manages to pull out that win and find their way into the top 8 to score some sweet apparel after an intense back and forth nail biter of a round. I tell you what, guys, if there's anything, I mean, so much was going through those players' minds the entire round, I'm sure. But if there's anything going through their mind, I sure hope it wasn't, we're going to make the community wait so long for this last ultra rare reveal. It's time. It's time to show you guys one last final for the night card reveal for Undaunted Raid. And I teased you guys a little bit in the chat. It's one I'm very, very excited for. Let's go ahead and take a look at a brand new attack coming out. Duplicate Deception Stab. This monster of a card is a 6 diff, 4 low for 7 weapon throw. That's it, guys. We have finally put out another throw with a keyword, and boy, is it one that's going to excite a lot of weapon users out there. But keywords aside, this card also just says that for this attack, you're going to lose a random card out of your hand, and then you're going to grab it back afterwards. This is super, super monumental. And then here's what's even crazier. Enhance from the hand. You can remove this bad boy to unflip 1 momentum rushing stab. Eat your heart out.
Yep. This card is going to be so sick in a lot of different characters. I'm so pumped to see what people do with this.
Yep. Stain 2, getting a weapon throw to guarantee his response. It's going to be crazy. Stain 1 unfortunately does not get to eat from that pool in these 3 symbols, but Eraserhead is going to find 2 of these symbols as well. Eraserhead 1, in fact. And I got to say that void weapon Eraser deck having a throw to include in this lineup that you can combo off of, going to be really, really massive. There's the sky's the limit with this. Just a base 7 damage throw. That is just scary, Kyle.
Yep. That it certainly brings back some haunting memories from days gone by of other attacks that were fairly similarly statted.
This card's just exciting.
Spooky.
Like, no matter how many times I see this card like pop up in meta decks or the top tables or anything like that, I don't care. You look at this card and it's exciting, it's exuberant, the abilities are insane. It's like breaking rules that we thought were sort of in place. And oh my God, that art. Oh my God, that art, Kyle.
It's great.
The
card looks fantastic.
It's beautiful. It's drop dead gorgeous. This, I look at this and think, boy, howdy, is that an ultra rare. Set 5 Undaunted Raid, guys. Coming soon to your local game store. Looking to be an absolute heck of a set. But that's going to mark the end of the reveals and mark the end of our Wednesday Webcam Weekly. Big congratulations to our top 8 players coming out of the woodworks and guaranteeing your free Dim Mock merch. And then a big thank you, Kyle, for coming on and doing this little shindig with me.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. It's always a great time coming out and watching great players play amazing and interesting games in the My Hero Academia card game.
Could not have better said it myself, my friend. And thanks everyone to who all watched out there tonight. It was a very, very lovely little night, and I'm glad I got to spend it with you guys and Kyle. And if that just wasn't quite enough MHA stream action for you this weekend, guys, we've got the Webcam RLE. It's going to be a super duper awesome event, and you're going to be able to catch all of the action with myself, Kyle, and Jesse over here, right here on the Twitch channel, bright and early Saturday morning. I cannot wait. Kyle, I hope you cannot wait as well. And viewers at home, I hope that y'all cannot wait as well, but we're going to have to. That being said, guys, it's the end of our night. It's time for Kyle and I to run off. And I don't know about you. It's time for me to run off and start brewing some duplicate deception stab decks. You can do whatever you want with the rest of your night, Kyle.
Actually, also the exact same thing. I have an idea.
Boys. And there it is, boys. Let's get hyped for set 5. I cannot wait to see you guys this weekend. Until then, Levi out. Good night, heroes.